Alright, hi everyone. So today in this tutorial, I'm going to show you, okay, from the beginning, how to trace your 12 frames from your story arc, okay, into a full storyboard. Alright. So first step, you will need to create a new file. You can choose art and illustration, and I want you to change this from 1000 to 1100 for the width, and then this is the same with the height. Okay, and then the measurement unit should be in pixel, and the color mode will be RGB color. Why we are choosing 1100? Because at the end of the assessment, as an outcome, you will create a cinematic storyboard, and I want you to upload this in Instagram post. So Instagram post resolution is 1080, so 1100 is just nice resolution for us to embed this as Instagram post. Okay, right. So if you are done with this, you can press create. So once you create the file in the Photoshop, automatically you will have this background and it is locked. Okay, right. So then next, I want you to go to window and open up this layer comps. So when you are tracing in a Photoshop, you're gonna use these layer comps because it helps you to organize your frame by frame image. Okay, because when you draw in the layers. So in these layers, you can have everything that you plan in your storyboard. You will have the background, the characters. Okay, so you should look at your storyboard and see how many backgrounds you have and how many characters you have. So you should separate these elements in your storyboard so that you can always reuse it whenever it is necessary. Okay, right. So let's start. So now this is my storyboard. Okay, right. First I have this background, and then inside this background I will have a character, and the character names is Aisha. So Aisha is looking at the empty souk. Okay, so just to make my work easier, when I prompt this in AI, I just ask AI to separate between the backgrounds and the character. Alright, so let's start with the background. So click on the background and then drop it inside the canvas. Okay, right. So here you will add new layer. Right, and then because I want to trace using the background and I don't want to draw on top of this image, so you can lock. Okay, so before you lock, let's reduce this opacity. Right, and then click again and lock the layer. So now you will start to sketch everything in an empty layer. Right, so when you want to sketch, you can use the pen tool, brush or pencil tool. Okay, so when you click on the brush tool, by default you will have black and white, the foreground and the background color. So for the brush tool, okay, this is the brush tool. So you can see that there are a few types of brushes. So this is up to you which one that you prefer when you want to sketch the storyboard. And then this is the size. So for the size, you can use from the keyboard, you can use open bracket or close bracket. So if I click, if I press on my close bracket, this is to make my brush bigger, and then open bracket to make the size smaller. And you can see that the number in here will change when you are playing with the open bracket and close bracket on your keyboard. Okay, so let's say I want to start my brush with number 3. Alright, so now we have done tracing with the background. So let's add one more layer, and this is for the color. Alright, so for the color, make sure that you use everything from the Adobe Color wheel. In this tutorial, I'm just going to use a very simple color. So let's just use one few color mode, which is gray. Right, I think that is enough. Then click back on the color to add a few shadow rather than make this look like just the color. I'm just adding gray as a shadow. Okay, right, so now we have add the color, and we have this layer 1 as the outline. So you can merge between these two. If you select the shift key on your keyboard, you can right click and then merge the layer. Right, so now I'm gonna add a new layer, and before that let me just drop the image. Okay, which is now I have this character. Okay, so you can turn off eye from the background, and we can continue with the character. Okay, so I'm gonna click here so that we get back the foreground color with black. Then I will change my brush size. Okay, but before that we can reduce the opacity and make sure that you lock this layer, because I don't want you to draw on top of this layer. Right, so that is my character. I can turn off the layer, okay, and then turn on the background. Okay, right, we can reduce this background so that it doesn't overlap with the character. Okay, so let's say for the character, let's add some basic color for this character. Okay, let's find colors from Adobe Color Wheel, and just type Adobe Color Wheel in your browser and then click Explore. So here we can type girl. Okay, so I want to use this color. We can click on copy, and when you go back to Photoshop, just click here again, and you can paste from this code number. Okay, so paste. Now you get the same yellow. Right, so now we are done with the character and the color. So I can hold my shift key and select both of these two layers, right click and then merge them. So your character should be on top of the background. If this is underneath of the background, that's why you can see all of these images inside, which is the background. Sketches is inside the character. Okay, so let's arrange this so that it will be on top of your background. Okay, right, so now we are done with the first frame. So again, you need to go and activate your layer comps, make this visible. So now we want to add the first frame. Remember, layer comps help you to organize all the images that you have sketched in the layers. Layers is the place that you draw everything. Layer comps is where you organize all the 12 frames based on what you draw in here. Okay, what you draw in the layers. So now because in my first frame I have Aisha, the character, and with the background layer. So I'm gonna select these two. Okay, you hold the shift key. Okay, click the first layer, which is the character, and then hold the shift key and select layer 2 and press here, add new layer comp. Okay, name this as frame 1. Right, so now you have frame 1 in here. So if I switch off all of these and I just press play, then you'll see that now you have the frame 1 in the layer comps. Right, so now let's continue with the second frame 2. So in my frame 2, okay, I have Aisha looking at the palm, okay, her palm's hands, and she's sad. Right, so let's drag these onto your Photoshop. Right, so still I'm using the same background. Add this new layer and make the opacity blue, and before that let's switch off all of these two. Okay, then you can lock this layer, and then make sure that you click on the new layer, not drawing on top of the reference image. Okay, right, so then click again this default foreground and background so that you get the black color. So change the size of your brush, and then you can start draw the character. Right, then let's add one more layer, and this is for the color. Right, so now we are done with the frame 2. So I can select these two layers, right click, and then merge them. Okay, so now we can switch on the background. Right, so again I can just bring this layer so that it will be together with the character, and then again hold the shift key, select these two, and then add new layer comp, and this will be frame 2. So if I turn off all the eyes, okay, and I can play from frame 1 if I press the play button. So this is frame 1, right, and this is frame 2. So if you notice, when I make changes, okay, in the arrangements of the layers, this is actually effects on my frame 1. So to avoid this to be happen, so you can just duplicate this layer. Okay, I want to duplicate this layer. So this is PG copy, right, and I can just bring this back together with the first frame. Okay, so when I do this, so supposedly you will not see sketches from the background inside the character. So remember that when you reuse anything from the layers, okay, make sure that you create a copy, because if you have add these layers into a layer comp and you make the changes, this can affect your image in the layer comps, right? Okay, so now let's continue with the next frame. Okay, so in my next frames, I have Aisha, the character, and she is crying. Right, so let's say I just want to use the same characters from here, but then I want to make Aisha she got tears dropping under her eyes. So what I will do now is to make a duplicate for this one, because if I change anything from here, it can affect my frame too. Right, so let's duplicate this one. Okay, and then so using the tears, so I can click this back to default color, and then with my brush and make it smaller. And I just want to draw, right, and then we can add one color, and this is for the tears dropping. I just want to add some blue color. Okay, so if you see here, I just arranged the layer on top of tears, okay, so that I can see colors for this tears dropping. Right, and then we can merge these two. Right click and then merge layers. So again, I will switch off this one, because this one is reflect in frame 2, and then right, so this is the background. Okay, I can just bring this to the bottom, right, then hold the shift key, the Aisha characters with tears, and then the background, and again, okay, click here, and this is frame 3. Right, so if I switch off everything, let's see from the frame 1. So see, when I click on frame 1, this one should be on top of this layer, right? Okay, so this is the correct image should be created in the layer code. Right, so let's say you have done everything, okay, and we want to export this and then add it into the full storyboards. Okay, so if I go to file, I can export layer comps to files. So this is where you want the file to go. Okay, let's see if I choose downloads. Okay, in my downloads I have one folder. Right, so this is where I want the image to go, and then for file type I want you to choose JPEG, and then when you hit the run, so you can see that when it's done running all the 12 frames in here, and this is successful, you can press OK, and then from the template that I share with you in the class, so you can scroll this down. So now I can see that in my storyboard tracing, this is all the 12 frames that you have done with the tracing. So I can just click here and then drag one by one. So this is the first frame, right, this is the second frame, and this is the third frame. Okay, so forth and so on. Right, so here you need to have all of this description, okay, frame number, short description about the frame based on the 12 frames that you have breakdown from the story arc, and then what is the shot size, the camera angle, camera movement, and you need to have the dialogue. Alright, so yeah, that's all. Thank you everyone.